Welcome to the Football Foodie. Today, we recap what happened in the world of soccer. Manchester United, Arsenal, very interesting game, very fun game to watch. You won't believe the score unless you're a Manchester United fan that always believes in your team. We'll also be recapping what happened in the Serie A. Looks like Napoli's chances of repeating have taken a big dip. We'll be talking about that as well. We'll be talking about La Liga. Barcelona played Real Oviedo. They sound like a fake team. Every team in Spain is called Real for some reason. I don't know. They got to start calling their teams fake Oviad. I'm not in charge of that, but we'll be talking Barcelona, Real Madrid. We'll be talking Endrick. He's lighting up France. He's doing really good. Upset in the Bundesliga. Big one, in my opinion. We'll also be talking about what else happened throughout Europe this weekend. So if you were busy shoveling snow the whole weekend and you're in North America, don't worry, I got you. We're going to be reviewing today, since we are a healthy channel, Revolution High Waste Salted Caramel Protein. I'm going to show you how I make it. I'm going to show you what I put in it. I'm going to be giving you an honest review. So stay tuned. You're not going to want to miss this episode of the Football Foodie. So let's kick it off with what happened in England. In my opinion, the match of the week was Arsenal versus Manchester United. Manchester United, they're playing a different style under Carrick, showing up to these big games as they did last weekend against City. And they did the same thing this week against Arsenal, using the strongest lineup that he could, having Maguire and Martinez as the center backs, Dalot at the right back, and Shaw in the left back, as well as having Casemiro and Mainoo center mids. There was controversy about Mainoo not playing under Amorim. He seems to be having his opportunity with Carrick, and he seems to be proving really good with it. So let's see how long Kobbie Mainoo could keep this up. Amad Diallo, Fernandez, and superstar Dorgo. He scored a really nice goal in this one. I recommend you watch the highlights. Brian Mbuemo as well. What a goal. Manchester United started off the game trailing 1-0. Eventually equalized it. 1-1, and they took a 2-1 lead before Arsenal responded to make it 2-2. Super sub Matheus Cunha came in, scored a banger. I still think Dorgu's goal was the nicest goal in the match. As a super sub, made all the difference. Manchester United get the 3 points, well deserved. Let's just see if they could keep this up next week against Fulham. Hopefully Carrick uses the same lineup, puts the best possible lineup he can. Right now, Manchester United, they are in a Champions League spot. They're in 4th place. Hopefully they could keep the momentum going. Other games this week, Liverpool, they traveled to Bournemouth. They got upset. They were trailing 2-0. The second half where they managed to rally and make it 2-2. Some 94th minute magic. They ended up winning the game 3-2. Liverpool keeps slipping in the standings. Really drastic change from their championship season. Not something that I would have expected. They invested a lot of money this season in some transfers, and they just don't seem to have shown up. Like Isaac, what's that guy been doing? You know what I mean? Liverpool, I don't see them repeating this year as title winners. Shoutouts to Adali, the Moroccan, with the 94th minute magic goal for Bournemouth. It's good to see some teams being upset, especially Liverpool. As a Manchester United fan, I absolutely don't mind it. The one thing that did suck about Manchester United winning was we helped Man City. I talked about this in my Euro recap. Seems like Pep came in with a commanding win against the Wolves. You're supposed to beat the Wolves. They're pathetic this year. They're in last place. Semenyo, he scored as well. He had a good game. Manchester City showed their dominance. We're able to win 2-0. Seems like there's some balance in England. If you also take a look at it, the standings, the top 4 is Arsenal, City, Villa. They're having a crazy season. Good on them for being third. 46 points. Manchester United with 38 points is in 4th place. They're battling to stay in 4th place against Chelsea, who right now is in a Europa League spot, and they have 37 points. Liverpool, they're down to 36 points. Manchester United, definitely in the top 4. Did not see this after Ruben Amorim getting fired. Happy as a fan. Fulham, where Manchester United travels next week, they're going to be competing to get into a European spot. They have 34 points. I think that's going to be the true test for Manchester United next week. How they do against Fulham, will they keep the momentum going? I have faith under Carrick that they could keep this going, especially if he uses a strong lineup like he did this game. Some interesting matches coming up. There's going to be Chelsea, West Ham. That's going to be a good one. Liverpool, Newcastle. Tottenham, Man City. I think that's going to be the match, probably the most entertaining. Some interesting times in England. Let's see what other transfers come in at the end of January and how they impact the EPL. Cap off what happened in Serie A this weekend. You had Napoli versus Juventus. Captain Canada opened up the scoring for a convincing 3-0 win over the defending champions Napoli. Napoli seem to always do this. They seem to always win the league and then not have the best season quite after. I guess they just can't repeat. But Juventus seems to be in form as well. They're playing really good the last couple of weeks. They also are doing good in Europe. So let's just see how momentum takes them. I think Juventus could be a dark horse in Champions League. Another game that happened this week was Roma. They were playing Milan. which was actually an entertaining game for a 1-1 draw. The Winter opened up the scoring for Milan in the second half. They seem to have had this game in the bag up until the 73rd minute when they had a handball in their box. Lorenzo Pellegrini capitalized on a penalty shot to draw it up 1-1. Roma, they're not bad. I think they're going to do wonders in Europa League. I think they're going to go far. Malin, he's playing really good. He had 7 shots on net. Unfortunately, none of them just got to the back of the net. I think him and Dybala have great chemistry, and they're playing some very entertaining soccer. So keep an eye out for Roma if you want to watch some entertaining soccer. They're going to do really good in Europa League as long as they don't play Porto, which is always their kryptonite. But they'll be good. They're fun to watch so far. Talking about fun to watch, Serie A leaders, Inter Milan played the last place Pisa. Trust me, this game was entertaining. From watching the best team in Serie A playing the worst team in Serie A, you wouldn't have guessed Pisa had a 2-0 lead up until the 30th minute. That just seems to have woken up Inter Milan. Inter Milan woke up and they didn't get 1 goal. They didn't get 2 goals. They didn't get 3 goals. They didn't get 4 goals. Not even 5. I got to put up another one. It's like they're Jordan. They got 6 goals. They ended up winning the game 6-2. It was an entertaining game. This game was technically on Friday. I'm not sure if this counts as part of the weekend recap. Inter Milan is playing some good soccer as well. They're the top of the table in Serie A, rightfully where they should be. They're having a great season. A lot of good teams up in the top of the table. All the usual suspects. Milan is up there as well. They're in second place. It's going to be an interesting finish to the season. Let's see if Inter could hold on to it. It's not the first time that they choked. Talk about what happened in La Liga. Let's get real about something. Real Madrid, that is. They ended up playing Villarreal and they ended up having a nice convincing 2-0 win. Mbappe opened up the scoring in the second half. Real Madrid seemed to be back in form. They seem to be playing like they want to win the title under Ebola. We'll see if he can finish in first place this season. It's going to be a race to the wire. Real Madrid beating fourth place Villarreal. Pretty impressive 2-0. But let's be real. OVO that for a second. They went into the Santiago Bernabeu and they ended up losing 3-0. Come on, let's be real about Real Oviedo that they were never going to beat Barcelona. They're in last place. That game was pretty entertaining to watch. Lamine, the weirdo Yamal, ended up scoring a crazy scissor kick. Yes, I did call Lamine Yamal a weirdo. Seriously, look at him. Great player, little odd, but they keep Barcelona on top of the table. They're currently leading with 52 points. Real Madrid is just 1 point back. It's like it's going to be one of those seasons right down to the wire between Barcelona and Real Madrid. Let's see who comes up on top. I think Real Madrid has it in them to win La Liga. And Barcelona, they're always Barcelona. You know what I mean? It's going to be an entertaining finish to the league. If one of them lose, that's it. I think the season is lost. It's a 2-race horse with Barcelona and Real Madrid. Atletico Madrid is in a distant third. Villarreal has the last Champions League spot. And Espanyol, they're in Europa League right now. So good to see them back in La Liga. Good to see them doing good. They were relegated a couple seasons ago. Real Betis is in sixth and in a Conference League spot. I promised you guys an upset this week, and there was in Germany. Bayern Munich ended up losing to Augsburg 2-1. They were leading 1-0, and Augsburg ended up coming back and making it a 2-1 final. This is the first loss Bayern Munich has had in the Bundesliga this season. Kind of shocking, to be honest. Bayern almost equalized it in extra time, but it just rang off the post. A little unlucky for them. Bayern Munich losing in the Bundesliga. I'm going to be honest, I did not see this one coming. They seem to have had a dominant season. I thought they could have gone all the way without conceding a loss. Bayern Munich is always a threat. They've been dominant the last 20 years of my life. They're always consistent. They're one of those teams that you could just always count on to win the Bundesliga. They're also always a contender in Champions League. Let me just tell you, when it comes to Champions League, Bayern Munich, you try to beat them, you could try your best to beat them and they'll just find a way to beat you. But at the end of the day, they just self-sabotage themselves. They get unlucky. So Bayern Munich, Vincent Company, you're still running a good ship, but just a little weird to see you guys losing to Augsburg especially. Let's see what happens to them next week. Let's go to what happened in France. Endrick belongs in France. He's lighting it up with Lyon. He had a hat trick today. Nice convincing hat trick. Kluivert's kid, he also plays for Lyon. He chipped in with a goal. Lyon ended up winning 5-2. Endrick is playing like a man that wants to be in the 2026 World Cup. Good for him. He definitely deserves it at this point. He's playing really dominant, beautiful soccer in France. Hopefully he comes back to La Liga with Real Madrid next year and he's able to do it. Really entertaining soccer to watch from Endrick. Other scores around Europe, we'll go to Portugal. Mourinho. I always say this guy's going to get fired. He's in trouble. Well, you know what? He won 4-0. Benfica has a 4-0 win this week against Estrela, lower middle team in Portugal. Mourinho didn't win that game. yeah, they definitely would be calling for his head. Sporting, second place in the Portuguese league. They end up beating Aruca 2-1. Porto still hasn't played. Porto will be playing Gil Vicente on Monday. That's going to be a great game. If you want to put your money on a safe bet, probably put on Porto. Not being biased because I'm a fan. Probably said this 100 times. But definitely an entertaining game. Let's just see if Porto can have another Olympian season. That's a simple, quick, fast recap of what happened in European soccer this week. Now we're going on to the best part of the video, the food review. So stay tuned. I'm excited to try this protein shake. So what we all waited for, the food review part. This is what we're reviewing today. Let's take a look. I ended up blending it into one awesome shake. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Guess the berries gave it the pinkish effect. So time for the food review. I'll be honest, it was pretty good. This is how much I have left in the cup. I didn't really taste the salted caramel part, to be honest. It was really good. It was delicious, nutritious. I threw in the creatine there. Protein, it's definitely essential, especially if you're going to the gym. You want to get these gains. Highly recommend getting yourself a good protein powder. This one also has 25 grams of protein, 147 calories, 5 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fat, 0 trans fat. You want to avoid that. And 0 added sugar. These are the ingredients in it. Well, what it has and it doesn't. When it comes to Revolution Highway Protein, highly recommend it. I ended up putting on it honey, Icelandic yogurt, the protein, the creatine, peanut butter. Everything always tastes better with peanut butter, guys. I recommend it. If you have an opportunity to put peanut butter on anything, just do it. Just do it. Banana, and I put 2 types of berries. I put the blueberry and I put the raspberry. If I have to give a review of this, I'd give it out of 10. This deserves a 8, maybe 9. Yeah, this is definitely a 9 out of 10. There's a little bit left. That's the reason why it doesn't get a 10 out of 10. Would recommend if you're going to the gym and you're trying to get those gains, check this protein powder out. Okay, I lied. 10 out of 10. There's absolutely nothing left in it. Thank you for watching. I hope you caught up on your European soccer. And if you're going to the gym, definitely recommend this. Have a good one, guys, and thanks for watching.